Welcome to Coffee with Ann. Today I had to go get a Starbucks, so I am running on empty, but I have not had a chance to be able to come on in a week, and I wanted to make sure that I did. There's been so much going on in our world. My kids have been crazy. I'm trying to do like 10 things at once. Number one, finalize a lot of stuff. The other thing is that we're doing the disability stuff for my one daughter. She's my daughter. And gosh, she's going to start going to a new school because of an autism school because her needs are just so great, and been touring and just all kinds of stuff. It's been a little insane lately. And my biggest question that I get a lot of times is, how do you do it with you have autism and you have the executive functioning piece? How in the world do you do this? And so I've been, all of my life, people have said, how? And when they tell you that when you're younger, when they tell you that you can't graduate high school, and there is something in me, and I don't know what it is, and it's not something that you can get a shot for. It is, to be honest, it is drive and determination. And if you tell me that I can't, I'm going to say, okay, watch me. That's just the kind of person I have always been. And I got it from when I was little. And I have this success thing. I was a swimmer. I traveled with my swimming, and I didn't like second place. And that's just the way I've always been. I get stuck on success. I guess that's what you could say. I mean, that's one of the talks that I give, stuck on success. And that's where I am. I'm stuck on success. And I'm also driven to be the best I can be for the people around me. That is so important for me, for my family, because I want them to have the best. When I look at my littles, I just want to be like, I have to. It's not, I mean, I have to renew my driver's license because I need to drive you places. I have to get these things done. I've got a list of 10 things. I live on lists. I live on filing systems. I live on my external brains. When I don't know what I'm doing, I'm the first person to go to somebody and say, help. And that's a huge thing. My self-advocacy, which you don't learn when you're young. A lot of times it's something that you have to be taught over years in how to do that for yourself, how to self-advocate, how not to be afraid to do that. So I mean, those things are really important. I don't have the executive functioning piece. I never did. And I live with somebody, fortunately, that when I even look at a recipe, or I don't know why I can't get from A to B. I don't know why. I look at things and I say, oh, well, I can make that. I mean, all I have to do is put these things in a bowl and stir. And then before I know it, I've put all the dry ingredients and the wet ingredients in the same thing. And I shouldn't have done that, or I didn't understand the directions, or whatever. So, I mean, I live with somebody and have people around me that know how to do these things. I could live on a microwave for the rest of my life and it not bother me. But I do want to learn how to bake with my kids and that kind of stuff. And so, I mean, I've made myself learn some of these things that can help me be beyond myself and be better for them, to make memories for them, because those kind of things are very important. I guess that one of the biggest things that it takes is that I'm willing to do whatever it takes. That's huge. I don't give up easy. I mean, I just had to go to the Bureau of Motor Vehicles to get my license renewed, and it took me 3 times to get it right, to go in there with the right information, with the right stuff. I mean, I had just about everybody in there um, by the time I got done getting my license, and had to walk to the bank because I didn't remember my PIN number for my card when I paid. I mean, you know what? This stuff happens, and it's me. And it wouldn't go that way if it wasn't me. So I just know ahead of time that what's going to take somebody 5 minutes is probably going to take me an hour. And I have to be humorous about it and just accept it and go with it. Or my other option is to just say, I can't. And that's just not the kind of person I am. Or to rely on other people. And that's not the kind of person I am either. There's a difference between saying, hey, can you help me with this recipe? Or can you make sense of what's going on with these forms? I don't quite understand them. What am I supposed to do? Versus do this for me. And that's not something that I do, nor will I ever do. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it by myself with a little help on helping me to go in the right direction or help me to understand what I'm supposed to do. But I am going to be the one that gets it done. So this is how you can be successful on the spectrum. When you're diagnosed and when you go throughout your life, you hear a lot of things that are like, you can't, you won't, you're not going to be able to, sorry, it's just not going to be in the cards for you, you know, that kind of stuff. And either you give up or you dig down and you figure it out. I mean, I have no idea even what I'm doing sometimes with the YouTube channel, but I watch a lot of people. I learn a lot. I have had fun with it. And I've already been asked to speak at a school. I've already been reached out to by several people on if it wasn't for this channel, you know, people wouldn't have understood their child or their adult child as much. And I'm really grateful. And I talk back and forth with anybody that's willing to contact me. That's what this is about. And I would go around and help anybody that I could on the spectrum, or people that are caretakers of people on the spectrum, be able to learn to find that drive within to be able to become that person's best. I had several times where I can give examples. I stood on a swimming block, and I mean, we would swim until we would practically be puking in the gutters, and then keep going some more. 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the afternoon, have dry land. And I just never, I mean, every inch of my body would hurt, but I would just keep going. And there was times where when I was a high jumper and I, for some reason, got stuck on this certain way to go into the bar and go over it, and I just kept hitting them, not being able to hit a mark that I always did before at a meet. And while I was practicing, and I just practiced like 50 times until I figured out what I was doing wrong. I was told that I wouldn't ride a bike, but yet I rode a unicycle, and I got on, which I covered in one of my other videos, but I got on a 6-foot unicycle and rode in with the Uniques in Akron, Ohio, way back. I'm not gonna tell you how way back, but I would stand in the backyard on our back patio with the unicycle, and I fell, I can even hundreds and hundreds of times until I learned how to do it. In fact, it got to the point where that was my one of my main means of transportation. I went all over our area on to my friends' houses. Friends, yes, I had some friends on my unicycle. So, um, you just have to find it. You have to find that drive. You can't let anybody tell you that you can't do it. Nobody. And I had lots of people tell me that my obstacles were just too big. And I know for a fact that there are people who would look at me, who looked at me way back when I was growing up or in my 20s and say, there is no way she would be able to raise two girls successfully. One isn't, needs some help, but I adopted two, raised them, and I'm raising three of my grandkids. I have 7 grandkids, and I'm raising 3 of them. And they all have disabilities. Every single one of them has autism. One of them has, on top of autism, has deletion 22q11. They all have some speech and language, and they're all delayed academically. And I just keep doing it. DD asked me if I wanted a respite weekend, and I just said no. It would be terrifying to them, to specifically the one that we're talking about. And I said, I would never, ever do that to them, to this one of the kids. And I mean, I get me needing a break. I appreciate that. But she's not ready for me to have a break. So I'm just not going to take that break. She needs me more than anything. She needs her family more than anything. And though I might have to take a break every now and then, it's when she's asleep, it's when I'm sitting and binge watching a show, when nobody else, the kids aren't awake, that kind of stuff is my break. And it gives me what I need to be able to do it again the next day. And I've just got this drive for success, and I pray every single day that I pass that on to my 5, because my 2 adult children and now my 3 younger children, and even my grandkids that live in another state. I just pray every single day that what I do is passed on down to them. And that's why I do this. Every single decision that I make is based on what they need. Nothing else, not a person, not another job or another adult or another anybody. It's based on what my kids need, all the decisions that I make. And I'm really proud of where I am in life with my kids, with God. I couldn't have done this without Him. Every single decision that I make, He guides me and tells me and puts me in the right direction, even though things are on not my timing. They are on His timing, and I just wait and I'm patient. And all these things play into place for how I can be as successful as I am and own a house and have had very, very successful jobs and careers, and be able to drive and make every appointment that I've ever, had, and never been late on any of my payments, and all that stuff. And it's just what is internalized inside of me. So I don't know how or if this can help anybody, but if you have that drive, which I know every single person on the spectrum has, because we run a mile every single day to get through a neurotypical day. By the end of the day, we have to have that drive in order to make it. So I know for a fact that the drive, the determination to make it is already there, and the self advocacy really helps. Making lists, I have a ton of lists, and crossing them off and making sure that everything is in place. And I even go down to the tiniest detail on what needs done on every single one of those lists. I mean, it's just so important that you also have external brains helping you along the way. And there's nothing wrong with asking for help when you really do need it, but not relying on other people to do it for you. So, as my kids always say, again, ready? Do it.
1, 2, 3, smash that like button.
And if you like this, please share it. Please let other people know that are on the spectrum. And I'll just keep doing this. And like it, share it, hit the bell to get all the notifications that I've made a video. And maybe I'll bring coffee again next time. Who knows? But I needed it today. So thank you very much for everything, for watching. And hey, keep being you and keep moving forward.